So today we're going to be talking about the personal experiences children have while growing up. Yeah, personal experiences of children while growing up and the advices of our parents that can affect us negatively or positively. Yeah, come with me as we talk you through the topic today. This is going to be a question and answer section where I'm going to be interviewing our guest today. She's going to be sharing her personal experience of how she grew up and how all of this can be of help to people out there because they say experience is the best teacher. Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Unfiltered Truth. Welcome. Yeah. Guess what, guys? We have a guest today. Yes, we have a guest today on Unfiltered Truth. She's a registered nurse by profession. She's a dear friend and a colleague. Don't worry, you get to know her. She's going to be sharing her experiences today and she's going to be providing answers to the questions which I'm going to be asking her, which can be of help to people out there, to parents, to teachers, to siblings, to brothers, to sisters, just to help them navigate life and to help them train their children in the right and godly way. Thank you. Yes, today I have with me a dear friend. Can we meet you, please, Miss Sophia?
Right. Hi everyone. My name is Sophia Omai and I'm a registered nurse by profession. I'm a child of God. I love God. I love the things of God. Hobbies would be first sleeping and I love to read as well.
Which
Thank
is
you.
good.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you for honoring our invite and thank you for coming today on Unfiltered Truth with Dherbiehood. We do not take this for granted. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Yeah, thank you. Please help me say thank you to her in the comment section. Yeah, thank you. So today we are going to be talking about personal experiences while growing up.
Right.
And we are going to be talking about the advices our parents give to children, or I would say advices parents give to children that affect them positively or negatively. So that is the basis of our discussion today. And this question and answer will be in 3 parts. So for the first part, I'm going to be asking questions based on the unfiltered childhood experiences because I understand that as we are growing up as children, or as we are growing up as the little one growing from the toddler stage to the infant to the adult to the like all of those stages, we have had 1 or 2 experiences which we either like or which we don't like. Most times, like many children go through so many things in their homes and just because they are children, they can't talk about it. They can't confront their parents. So today I'm going to be asking the unfiltered childhood experiences. So this is the part 1, and the part 1 we are going to be asking questions based on the unfiltered childhood experiences. And the goal of this is to move beyond what happened, to get to how it felt, and to see how all of this can be resolved, how we can forgive, how we can let go, how we can exudate those bad energy and allow God help us to build ourselves. So, and I would like you, please, if you can streamline it to your personal experience, just to help our viewers to make a better and informed decision of how they can navigate through.
Right.
Because so many people have questions which they are finding answers to.
Right.
So we are using this video as a means to provide answers to the questions most people are having.
Right.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay.
And the first question today is the atmosphere check. We want to check the atmosphere of our homes. We want to rewind back to those years just to check the atmosphere of our homes. So I'm just going to be asking you if you could describe the emotional temperature of your home in 1 word, how would you describe it?
I mean, it's a dicey one and very tricky at that because I would say it's hard for me to describe the emotional or the atmosphere of our home growing up. But if I'm to think of a word, if I am to think of a word, I would say tensed. Yeah, tensed. It was tensed.
Okay, so if you said it was tensed, like you are describing the emotional temperature of your home tensed, why would you say that?
I would say that because I didn't grow up with my parents. I grew up with my aunt. And my aunt, I mean, bless her, she's a disciplinarian. And there's just this set rules within the house. We are all obliged to live by those rules. So it's kind of, if you don't do it, you already know the consequences.
It's like a form of strict parenting.
Yeah, it's very strict, and you're gonna get the reward for every of your actions, which is most times not very palatable. But
I can imagine.
yes.
Okay, so just from what she said, you described the emotional temperature of your home as tensed. And this was because it was like a form of strict parenting. There was a set rule which you have to live by.
Yeah.
And if you don't do those things, you know the reward, obviously.
Yeah.
You know what you're going to get in return. So I think this is speaking back to our parents, to our viewers, and to anyone who is watching this video right now. As parents, I understand that God has given the children to us for us to nurture, for us to shepherd. We should not always be strict with our children. Yeah, I understand that we are trying to make them a better person, because most times children, they can be funny. Yeah, because they don't know the right thing to do. They might just want to do things in their own way. But we should try to be relatable with our children, because I think strict parenting is not good. What would you say about strict parenting?
Yeah, strict parenting is not the best. Strict parenting is not the best, and I am not gonna be a strict mother.
No,
because I
no.
had realized in the course of growing up that it's not actually
It's not the best.
it's not a pleasant experience both for the child and even sometimes for the person being strict. Because when you're
Yeah.
strict, I mean, being a nurse, you get worked up.
Yeah.
It increases your blood pressure.
Yeah,
And you
very
don't want to
true.
come down with lots of illnesses because you're raising a child. Yeah, so I would say it's not.
That is very
Yeah.
true. Yeah. That is very true. For strict parents out there, to be very sincere, if you are shouting all the time, oh, go and wash that plate, oh, you've not swept your blood pressure, please, let's look after ourselves. I understand that we are trying to train our children, but for parents, please look after yourself. Don't shout too much. Your blood pressure is at risk. As she has said, strict parenting is not good. So when you say the environment or the emotional temperature of the house you grew up in was tense, were you happy to be brought up in that environment, and how has it affected you so far?
To be honest, I would say that made me a compliant child.
Good.
Because most times, if you're not able to voice out your emotions, I believe if you're growing up with your parent, there's a way you can still maybe shout back at your parents, shout back at mom, shout back at dad. But in my own situation, I would just keep quiet to everything. So I tend to like comply with everything, whether it's comfortable or not. I grew up being a compliant child, which in a way, growing up affected my personality. I would say, okay, I became introverted, not because, okay, I wasn't, but because of the whole emotional, I won't call it emotional, because of the whole atmosphere around the home. We just want to comply and abide by every of the rules and regulations. So I would say it made me compliant to both the good and the bad things. Yeah.
Okay, so when you said the environment or the atmosphere made you introverted.
Yeah.
And this is not what you wanted to be.
Yeah.
You are not introverted by nature, but you are introverted by nature.
Yeah.
Like you're not introverted, like you're not an introverted person,
Yeah.
but because of the environment you grew up in,
Yeah.
that made you who you are.
Yeah.
Is it something you are quite happy with or not?
I mean, I wouldn't say something I'm totally happy with. I mean, when I saw the book Atomic Habits, I thought I was understanding why I am who I am today, because the atmosphere, the environment has a lot to do when it comes to your habit and wherever you become. So I would say it's not something that I am happy, but in a way, it has contributed to who I am today. I lived in a story, and in a way, I'm living out that story now.
Which is good.
Yeah, which is
So
a
it is
reality.
a good thing for you to say you are not regretting the fact that you grew up in a tense environment, though it's affected you negatively.
Yeah.
It's made you introverted, but it has made you who you are.
Yeah.
And you are living out that story.
Yeah.
You are living it out gracefully, if you understand what I mean.
Yeah.
Which is very good, and it has made you a compliant child.
Yeah.
Good. Thank you for that. Thank you for that answer. Okay, let's move on to our second question. So for the second question, you mentioned about rules being set in the homes. So this is talking about the silent rules. So I understand that every family has some unwritten rules. It's not written down, obviously. Some unwritten rules where they say this is what you should do, this is how you should do it, which people don't talk about most times. So what was the biggest silent rule in your house that shaped you?
Well, I would say there are a lot of rules and regulations within the house. Some were very pronounced. You don't need to be told. While some very subtle. So the silent and very subtle one that you don't have to be told what to do is the making up of a thing, like applying is it powder, foundation, and until now I don't know how to do those things. Maybe it's as a result of my upbringing and all that. So in our house, because we're three females in the house, we don't do makeup. because as a young child, my aunt would say, you are attracting what you shouldn't be attracting at that age. You're going to cause yourself distraction. And also, the pronounced one would be not wearing clothes that exposes your body. And to think of the fact that now, I mean, all through my school days, I mean, after leaving my aunt now, I wouldn't wear a clothes that would expose my body or a clothes that would show my cleavage in one way or the other. That's not because someone outside the home would tell me. It's a result of those subtle values that has been instilled into me, which I felt, okay, in a good way, that's good. So these subtle rules are, they were not very pleasant as at that time, but in a way, they had contributed to shaping me. I remember one of the days when we're having this creative act in school, and we were to do beats and all that. So I did a bead and I wore it home. I was so excited. Oh no, I did bead and I wore it. And in the evening, we just wanted to have dinner, and my aunt cited it. And she dismantled it, and she gave it to me to go and literally throw it away. Though very sad, very not really nice, but I would say it has, in a way molded me to being modest and
which is good.
Yeah,
Which is good. So I think all of these silent rules in families or in our homes, they affect our children even when they don't talk about it. Some children, like she said, she was introverted while growing up. Some children, they will not talk about it. They'll just allow it sink through. They will not talk about it. They will allow it sink through, but it is affecting. So as parents, I understand that we are trying to nurture our children in the way of the Lord. We are trying to train them because the Lord has given them to us for us to shepherd them. But we should not be too harsh on our children. We should not be too harsh on our children. We should try to understand our children as well, because like I said in my previous video, they are humans. Yeah, they are humans. I understand that they are young. They might not know what they are doing, but we should try to be relatable. That is the word. We should try to be relatable with our children. If they want to do something, if that thing is bad, sit them down, explain to them and say, oh, I think this thing you're trying to do, or this thing you want to do is bad.
Yeah.
They would understand,
Yeah.
rather than you creating silent rules or creating an atmosphere in the home that makes them feel uncomfortable.
Yeah. And I quite agree with that, because if I understood why, I would have reacted better. So most times parents just give the rules, but they don't give the why to the rules. Yeah.
Yes, you mentioned about makeup. To be very sincere, for young females, I think makeup of a thing is very dicey.
Yeah.
Because like she said, you might attract what you shouldn't attract. Yeah. I don't want to go deep into that because we all understand. Because I think for a young female trying to do makeup, trying to do lashes, you're wearing lip gloss, you're wearing the pronounced red lipstick, and it is very shiny. You're attracting what you're not meant to attract. And I think another thing is for female, once you wear makeup, it makes you look. Some men would not guess your age directly because you're wearing makeup. So I think I'm not going to say wearing makeup for young children is advisable. No, it is not. But I think for every rules we are setting in our homes, there should be a why, and we should make our children understand, telling them, you will do makeup, but not now. This is not the age for makeup. This is not the age for this. This is not the age for that. Make them understand the reason why you're stopping them from taking that action at that point, so they better understand. And when they grow up, they know that, oh, this was the reason why my mom or my dad was telling me, or my aunt was telling me, don't do this, don't do that. They'll better understand, and that would make them a better person to train their children in the nearest future. I think that's a good thing.
Yeah, I quite agree with that.
Yeah. So the third question is about the role you played. Okay. So in a dysfunctional or busy homes, children often takes on roles to survive. Because in the homes where there was silent rule, in the homes where you can't talk, in a home where you need to do what you need to do, you would need to take your own part. It's just like on a set where people are acting movie. She's your mom. This is your dad. You are the child. You need to take a role. You need to take a part. So in a dysfunctional or busy home, children often take roles, like they might be the invisible child where I don't want them to see me. They might be the introvert. I just want to talk. They might be the peacemaker where if there is argument, please don't shout. Let's be calm, everyone. So in that kind of setting, which role did you find yourself playing in your home and you are still playing till now? Which role?
Right. The home I grew up in made me a compliance child. Compliance in the sense that, due to the fact that there were rules and regulations and there were things that I ought to do and things I ought not to do, and I know the consequences of not doing those things. So I just tend to comply and just abide by everything, even if it's comfortable or not. And to be compliant means to keep quiet at everything. So I became, in a way, invisible, such that even if some persons were to be at fault, I remember neighborhood friends and, we all children growing up, if they should do something that was painful to me, I would rather keep quiet, because I don't even want them to report me to my aunt in the first place, because reporting would mean that she's gonna,
Scold you.
she's gonna raise her voice at me. So I just became very withdrawn, and in a way that has contributed to the personality I have today. I would say, introverted. Sometimes could be very shy. You don't want to say too much, and you were mentioning if I'm still playing that role today. I would say even till now, especially I got to realize that when I was in school, schooling to become a nurse and all that. I've got roommates that would do horrible things at me. I'll come to the class. There was a time I even had a roommate that, she was quite older than I am, and she was shouting in the class. It took a while for everybody to know who she was shouting at, because I just kept quiet. And
you're not responding.
I wasn't responding.
So that child in you was still
that was a personality that was instilled in me, and till date I still play that role of being invisible. I don't want trouble. I don't just want so much noise, and sometimes I could be so withdrawn when being in a conversation. If you're getting angry, it might not be me making you angry, but I would just tend to let everything go and just the invisible child.
Wow, that's a lot. That's really a lot. So I think for parents watching us right now, you are taking notes and you're learning one or two things, because the experiences our children have while they were still young can still affect them even into adulthood. Yes, those experiences can still come up. It can still affect them in their places of work, in their schools, in their environment, in the church. It can still come up. Yeah, please, we should try as much as possible to be relatable parents with our children, to pray to God to give us the wisdom to train our children in a godly way. Because you having to experience all of these, you being an invisible child, you keeping quiet when you have a lot to say, that's not good at all. I also believe that as human, as adults, we should learn to voice out when necessary. We should learn to speak when necessary, because our voices needs to be heard.
Yeah, and I think parents need to start realizing the consequences of their actions.
Yeah.
Why I might not be an expert advisor when it comes to parenting. Recently, if you don't listen to Wendy Ologe, I think she's a good parenting coach that people should listen to.
Good.
Children are not animals.
Yeah.
You're not raising animals. You are raising a child. You are raising a human being. So if you are raising a human that can hear, I don't see the reason why we should flog our children. And I think this is very common in the Western culture, because when we find ourselves, you can't beat a child. Why should you beat a child when you can speak to that child? You explain your reasons. I'm not saying we should now be very, very cold and
very lenient.
You talk to a child, you'll be firm at your, instructions, and they would listen. It's not by flogging. By flogging, you're trying to, you're beating down.
You're making them fear you. You're making them run away. You're making them.
Their self-esteem will be affected. These are things that affected myself. Like I said in the beginning, your self-esteem has been flogged out. You can't talk emotionally. You are battered. You can't speak to your own parents. Why? Because parents are busy thinking that's the right way. And I wouldn't say that it's not totally the parents' fault.
Yeah.
Because that is how they were brought up.
Yeah.
But we need to start unlearning several things as parents.
We need to unlearn and relearn
several things as parents. You can't, in this century that we are in, I don't think we should flog children. No. Yeah.
In regards to that, I have a contrary view to that.
Right.
Because there are some beating I received that shaped my life.
Right.
Literally.
Yeah.
But I would say it's not in all case, because like I said, sometimes children can be very funny.
Yeah.
As a child, like, you're just trying to try out things, you're trying to explore.
Yeah.
You want to be wild, you want to explore.
Yeah.
So sometimes if they don't bend the child like this, you would not come in order. If you get what I mean.
Right.
Some children may try to be like this. They are trying to be wild, but sometimes they need to shaping them up. I'm not saying
cane.
not with cane. I'm not saying beat your children, but like I said earlier, there are various ways you can correct your children, because there are some children you will sit down, talk to them, they will not listen to you.
Yeah.
It is what is in their mind they would do. So in that case, what would you do?
From growing up, a child, most times being a small child, they become who they are looking up to.
That is a thing.
So if you are a correct
parent, that is it.
There's no how they won't listen to you.
Yeah, if you are doing the right thing.
If you're not a naggy wife, you're not a naggy father, you just have this very cool, calm. I've visited families where I'm like, are they really having an argument? I mean, they're having a disagreement, they're having very hot conflicts. But it's so hard for me to deduce what was going on.
Because they were just
they were just telling themselves what was not right and how they would
having a proper discussion. Like
having a discussion. Your children get to see all these things.
Yeah.
So if you don't listen to your husband, you can't tell your child to be listening to you.
Yeah.
If you don't listen to your wife, you can't say that son would listen to you. It's just something that it's just what the brain does. The subconscious takes everything in, and observation is the best way that a child learns.
Yeah.
Most times it's not by you talking.
No.
They watch you. They see what you're doing. They see how you're talking. They see how you are handling situations. And that's who they eventually become, or that's what they eventually emulate. So that's my own view about so
I would agree with you on that, because in my previous video where I spoke about why children drift away, I said if a mother or a father is nagging in the market, what would you think your child will do? As a parent, if you are stealing, or if you are at home and somebody is looking for you and you tell your son, tell I'm not at home. What are you instilling? It's not by you saying, oh, do the right thing. They are observing what you're doing. It's just like they are mirroring you, just as we mirror Christ. So that is just what it is. So as parents, we need to do the right thing for our children to fall in line. Okay? Thank you. Thank you for that answer. So we are going to the fourth question right now, talking about the small trauma. So I understand that even as we grow up, we experience one trauma or the other. And I think most people see trauma as a very big explosive event, where sometimes trauma can be subtle, it can be silent, it can be a very small tiny something like this that will just be there, but it is trauma. So I would say, while growing up, what actually altered you the most?
Well, several things, but if there are some that I still remember vividly, I'll just share one. Then because of time, is the fact that I said I grew up with my aunt. So my aunt and my own mom, I don't know the clash that existed between them, because initially when I wanted to even come stay with my aunt in the first place, my mom was not in support. It was my dad that gave the go ahead to say just let her go, and so my mom was not in support. I didn't know why, but in the process of staying with my aunt, I discovered there were a lot of conflicts between the two siblings. So I was like the object of reconciliation. I wouldn't say she was trying to use me as a means of reconciliation. I would say that she would, if I just maybe just do something little, she would refer to, oh, I knew how your mom treated me. Your mom is not a very nice person. Your mom did this, your mom did that. I would cry. Not for she wasn't flogging me. Maybe
But those words,
I received flogging, don't get me wrong. But those words made me, like, I would weep. Let me just call it weeping, because I would weep and she would be like, oh, you love to cry. I'm not crying because I'm crying because you're giving me a wrong impression of my own mom. And those were very traumatic experiences. Imagine your auntie telling you, your mom was not very nice to me. Oh, I know what I could have done. If it was to be your mom, she would have acted in a way. So I felt really pained. And those words, in a way, they were getting into me. my aunt, she wouldn't she wouldn't take me to go see my mom because of, there were a lot of things surrounding that. So over the years, then I built it up, would I say I love my aunt? Yes. Would I say I love my mom? Yes. So I'm just in between, trying to figure out, okay, is my mom actually a nice person, or is my aunt actually a nice person? So those were traumatic experiences, but I mean, Christ is now in this story, but in a way, they suppressed a love that I should be expressing towards my own mom, which were not very nice. You couldn't just pick your phone and say you want to call your mom. Why? Because your aunt and your mom,
she
they are
has
not
painted another picture for you.
Yeah, she gave me, thank you, that's the word. She gave me a very bad picture. But yeah, here we are today. It was traumatic, but
oh my God.
yeah.
But another thing is, those little words you speak to your children, they are storing up. The brain traps it.
Yeah. Yeah.
The brain traps it. Another thing I want to mention is, you said there was like a conflict between your aunt and your mom.
Yeah.
So maybe your mom has offended your aunt.
Yeah, that's
and
it.
she's still keeping it there. It's still like traumatic to her. She has not let.
Yeah, or maybe they offended each other.
But
then she was transferring the trauma to me by her own expression of what my mom or what they did to each other. That till today, I think I'm just trying to figure out what actually went wrong, what was going wrong. But yeah, it wasn't a very pleasant way. So if you're a parent out there and you have maybe a sibling or you have someone staying with you, please do not use your experiences with their mom or somebody to treat the child.
Don't transfer aggression. Don't transfer bad traumatic experiences
to the child.
Even if the mom has offended you, or even if your sibling has offended you in the past, try to reconcile. Forgive and forget. I understand that it is difficult to forgive and forget, but with the help of God, all things are made possible. Forgive and totally forget. Don't transfer aggression.
Yeah. Well, okay, you might be able to forgive, you're not able to forget. But when you see the person, when you see the person's child or the person's daughter, you're not reacting based on what your offense. So that's okay, forgive. You've not totally forgotten what they did to you.
But to some extent, you forgot because you don't want to transfer the aggression to the person's daughter or to the person's child. If you get what I mean.
Yeah. So yeah.
Because there are some experiences that will still bring back those traumatic experiences where you're like, oh, this person did this to me. But that grace for you to say, well, I've forgiven, and you don't react based on that experience. Use that to say you have forgotten. Not necessarily like it's not cleared off your memory. It's still in your memory subconsciously, where some things can still bring that up. But the grace for you not to react based on those traumatic experience, I would say at that point you have forgotten, but not necessarily forgotten, if you understand what I mean.
Yeah, I understand your point. You're not treating the child based on what the mother has done. You forgive. I mean, let's forgive people. Sorry, let me just chip this in.
That's fine.
One of the ways to actually be more healthy is by you forgiving. Because when you forgive, you're releasing happy hormones. And when you're happy, your cells are just happy and you're just doing great for yourself. Sincerely. Just by forgiving people.
Sincerely. Yeah, so that's a good point. I think as adults, as parents, what we should do is we should learn to let go. Don't keep hurt, because if you are hurt, you would hurt your children. Or you will hurt people around you. The hurts are those who hurt the hurts.
Debbie 2026. The hurts are those who hurt the hurt. Because you can't give what you don't have. You give what you have.
Yeah, that is it. Period. So I'll go into the last question for this part. So God in the house, right? That is the basis for this question.
Right.
So did your childhood home use faith as a weapon to control behavior or as a tool for comfort? How did that shape your view of God today?
Right. From what I've been saying, many persons will have known that is there God in that house?
Oh my God.
Well, I would say none of the above, but there was an element of faith in the house. Because like I said, we're three. The third person joined afterwards. But I and the smaller one, she was going to church, but I was not allowed to go to the church. I would go to the mosque because both parents, they are Muslims.
Obviously.
So my aunts would not want further trouble. I mean, there was an existing conflict already. I don't want, don't go to church. Your mommy, your daddy will say this. So I was going to mosque, complying. I was complying and going to the mosque because that was what my aunt
Wanted you to
wanted
do.
me to do, and not that she wanted, that was what our elder sister would want her to do. So our own daughter was going to church, and she is also a Muslim, because my aunt, it's not like I'm the only one going to Muslim.
So she allowed her daughter to go to church?
Yes, and she was a Muslim.
Oh my God.
Yes, no, she would allow her daughter to do whatever she wanted.
She wants, okay,
but not us.
but not you.
But once in a while, if the daughter is going to church, or if they're having a program, she was going to redeem. If they're having a program, she would even be invited, and I would go once in a while. Going to that mosque, I just knew there was more. I don't know how, but I knew there was no fulfillment, but I knew there was God. So I would wake up in the morning. Before we go and do salat or anything, I would still first do my morning prayer. I would kneel down to God and just still pray in any way. And maybe, I don't know if I was saying in Jesus' name then, but I knew there was more to just going to salat and just going 5 times. So I would say God was the one that journeyed my path in bringing me to his view about himself. Not, it doesn't have anything to do with the home I grew up from. Or maybe in a way, because I saw that little girl going to church, and once in a while, if she invites me for their programs, there were 1 or 2 things I would take from there. But after secondary school, God just orchestrated my steps
divinely.
Divinely.
Wow, thank you, Jesus.
I got to I got to see God and know Jesus for myself. Yeah. So that was
good. So I think with what you've explained so far, the way this shaped you was you knowing that there was more. There is more where this came from, I know it. Yeah. There is more. Another thing I would like to say is, even from your mother's womb, God knew you.
Yeah.
So he wanted you to go through all of those experiences for something.
Yeah.
It might be a deliverance for someone tomorrow.
Yeah.
It might be a deliverance for someone watching this video. We might not know.
Yeah.
But he made you go through all of those experiences just for something.
Yeah.
And like you said, it divinely orchestrated your journey.
Yeah.
See who you are today.
Yeah.
You are a lady radiating God's glory, shining the light of God. Like, God is really good. God is good.
I mean, and the fact that, okay, maybe I didn't answer that part of questions of how it shaped me and all that.
Okay.
The fact that during Ramadan, during every festive season in Islam, we would normally observe it. It shaped me, and it gave me that subtle knowledge that there is something to be consistent with. There is a God to pray to. So I knew there was something. So when I eventually got a grasp of that thing, the being religious now is now becoming like a lifestyle.
It's like you're already living in it already.
Yeah, so I wasn't going to pray salat now 5 times a day. But coming for any church meetings that the Holy Spirit would have me go, I would definitely go. Not because they are saying that. I don't need to be convinced. You don't need to spill out everything that you have in you for me to come to a program. I would just naturally go, and that's because that has built up over the years. If you know Muslims, very consistent. So that in a way really helps
consistency,
me.
which is good. Consistency is very good. In our day-to-day living, especially in our relationship with God, consistency is very good. We should not just say we want to follow God today and go back tomorrow. No turning back. No. Follow God. Follow God. Consistency.
I mean, so much. Those times you would fast, even if you forget to wake up and eat sorry. That's what they call it in Yoruba. You will still fast.
Wow.
So if you like, don't wake up to cook the food that you will eat around 5:30.
You still break your fast by 7
You still break your fast by 7. If you like, don't even pray salat in between. You are still fasting. So those things,
those trainings,
they
wow.
contributed.
Thank you so much for answering this question of unfiltered childhood experiences.
Right.
I hope we've learned 1 or 2 things. So now we are going to the part 2 of these interview questions. This is the part 2 segment, and we are talking about parental influence. Parental influence, the good ones, the bad ones, the ugly ones. That is what we are talking about in this segment. And the goal is to help our audience recognize the patterns in their own lives. To know, okay, what is it I'm doing at the moment that is wrong, that is bad, that is good. So that is the goal of this. So the first one is, what was the one piece of advice your parents gave you that sounded good at that time? Like maybe maybe they will say just pray about it, be a good girl, don't cry, but actually could have caused you harm or suppressed your emotion?
Right.
Yeah. I know that question is very tricky. Yeah. The well-intentioned lie.
Wow, that's a very interesting question. But I would say, was it a lie? My auntie would always say that if you do not read your book and be the first in class, you're going to marry a farmer.
Also, that's a lie. Maybe, maybe not, because they are well-to-do farmers now.
Yes.
Yeah, so
She would that's usually like our anthem. If you she would say it in Yoruba, I don't know if if you can permit Yoruba on
yeah,
this show.
you can.
Tó bá kàwé ẹ̀, àgbẹ̀ ló bá ló máa fẹ́. Àgbẹ̀
Mm.
lọ́ba, that's what she would say
If you
to
don't
me.
read your book, you're going to marry a farmer.
The Lord of Farmers. In fact, that's how she would put it. So that
Mm.
was a well-intentioned lie, I would suppose. But
Mm.
then I would cry. I would go carry my books and read because Sophia does not want to marry a farmer.
Yeah.
But if you're a farmer, you got here, you have money.
I'll fly with you.
Yeah, that's on the light handed, but yeah, that
Yeah.
was it.
I understand that you've explained that part of the well-intentioned lie, and I would say that statement is a well-intentioned lie. So she's bringing you to a point where you need to realize that you need to read your book, where you need to realize that your book is your major priority.
Yeah.
But in alignment with this question,
Yeah.
we want to know, did that cost you any harm? Did that suppress your emotions in any way? I understood that you said you cried, which it suppressed your emotion. But apart from that, did this cost you any further harm or anything that affected your emotion negatively?
I wouldn't say it caused me harm.
Okay.
Rather, it made me more focused on, reading my books. I
Which
want
is good.
to always be maybe the best girl in school. I would always want to read. But even if I'm not interested in reading, if I remember that if you score below a certain grade, if you don't take first or second, you're going to listen to loads of epistles.
Yeah.
So that was like maybe, may I say, bedrock of me being wanting to always read and
So I would
study.
say that affected you positively then.
Yeah,
it had a positive impact.
It had a positive impact, to be honest. Yes. And I wasn't even, if you cannot even say a boy and you like me, well, I want to just pass my book. I just want to read and pass.
Just be focused.
Yes, it's made me more focused.
Which
That's
is good.
the word,
Which
yes.
is good. And I would also want to ask this question. Would you say well-intentioned lie is good or bad?
We're in a generation where children you don't need to lie to them.
Just
there's
come out
AI.
straight.
If you lie to them, if you don't give them a mobile phone, a friend of theirs have a mobile phone, so they can always ask those questions and get legit answers. So just tell them this and give them the rationale. If you're not able to give them the rationale, take them to God in prayer.
Yeah.
So
even without mobile phones, amongst their friends in school, they can just start a discussion, and before you know it, ideas coming left, right, center, and they are blown away, and they're like, oh my god, so my mom lied to me. And they'll feel so bad. They'll feel, oh my god, we don't want to do that to our children.
True.
So we need to be very cautious of that.
True. And the fear of our fathers, the fear of mothers, the fear of several persons for our generation is we're a generation that is seeking to know why.
Yes.
We just want to know why.
So
and
give
we are
us
moving
that reason.
And we are moving so fast. So parents, you also have to, just take that shift. Just relearn and unlearn certain things. Answer certain questions. Like a child asking you, Mom, if a man sleeps with me, will I get pregnant?
I don't want to answer that
and you
question.
now tell them, you suppress them, you give them a lie, you tell them something. I don't think that's not correct in this age. A child will go and sleep with someone because you've not answered their questions. You're lying to them. You're trying to bypass their questions, and they are seeking answers. So you don't want them to seek answers and responses from the wrong set of persons. So let's just learn to answer their questions. Let's learn them to tell them facts. No assumptions anymore. Because assumptions is as good as no knowledge. It's as good as you saying nothing. So let's give them the facts. Let's commit them also into the hands of God. Yes, so that's my view.
And I think with that question, the best thing for them to do is just to give them sex education. I understand that the people say there is a certain age you get to that we don't want to expose you to certain things. But nowadays, even in their schools, they are being exposed to all of these things.
Yeah, I don't think there's a parent out there that doesn't know that sex education should
It's
start
everywhere.
from the house.
It's everywhere, because in my previous video, I even mentioned it, that you need to teach your children in the home, in your house.
Sure.
Teach them in the house before they teach them outside.
True.
Because you don't want them to come back home with another negative idea or with something that is not true, because their friends would dissect this for them, even in the classroom. So please, we need to teach our children at home.
And because you're not answering their questions, that's making them more inquisitive. They are more eager to know why. If mom is not telling me, then I'll explore this website, then I'll do this, then I'll do this.
Their curiosity level is becoming,
it makes them more curious to find responses to their answers. So let's save them the stress of going through that route. Let's provide as much responses as we can, and not neglecting also the place of prayer.
Yeah, the place of prayer is very important. We need God. We need the wisdom of God to train and to nurture our children. Thank you for that answer. The second question is the mirror moments. Yeah, we want to mirror. Okay, so when you look at your life now, how you handle stress, how you handled money, how you handled conflict, where do you see your mother or your father coming out in your behavior? And is that a good thing or a scary thing? So, like, try to mirror now.
Okay, what do you ask my aunts coming in? Because
why are you just mentioning your hands, your mom or your dad?
Because I barely didn't even grow up with them. I didn't grow up with them.
You would know one of their traits. Would say, oh, okay, I think this is from my mom, this is from my dad. If you get what I mean.
Right. Okay. Yeah. I get what you mean. But the response to that question would be, in terms of savings, my aunts taught us how to save.
Good.
There's this box they use in saving. Yoruba do that. Yorubas do that.
They used to call it kolo.
Yes. So, I mean, people give you money, you have to save a certain percentage. By the end of the year, you're going to break that box, and wherever you have,
billionaire.
Yeah. So that saving culture was inculcated into us, and I learned the culture of savings right from being very little. And when I was in I think GSS2, I don't know what they call it in several parts of the world, but still in form of not yet in uni yet.
Year 8. I don't know what it's.
Yeah. There's this bank that came to our school then, and they were opening accounts for students for free. That was how I opened that bank. Wow. So I now shifted from saving in the small box to saving in the bank.
Upgraded.
Yeah, upgrade. And how much was I even saving? Every Friday or every last Friday of the month, I'll take 500. I will gather 500 naira. I'll go and save it in bank. Wow. I was going to deposit 500 naira
in the bank.
Yes, in bank. And I think I saved for a period of time, and it became 7,500 in naira. It was a lot of money then for me, and I was so happy. So that saving culture was something that was inculcated into me right early, and I think it's still helping me now. With that savings, I learned not to just buy things on impulse. I don't just buy things I don't need because let me save it. And there was a time I went for, let's call it is it an essay competition or something, and we went to see this our Lubel Lorette, Wole Soyinka. And Wole Soyinka told us that he had just 6 pajamas. And like, somebody that is this wealthy, all his money, what is he doing with them? I said, no, I would save and not just spend anyhow lavishly. So parental bringing exposures to all these things, it has really contributed into shaping me and how I view things, especially when it comes to finance, when it comes to money. You wouldn't just see me borrowing things. If I borrow, maybe that day I don't have the money, but like I would just now start, but I know how to save for what I need. And that's because of over the years, those were the things that were
for the dry days.
Yeah, those were the things that were inculcated. And because I save, I still have, my salary will not finish before the next month, and I'm all over the place. Oh, they've not paid
to fall back on.
They've not paid. Some persons will be like, oh, I don't want to mention any country. Oh, before they pay one salary, one has finished. Check your savings. Check how you're spending. Check your contentment level. Some persons, they are not contented, so you can't save because as you see, you want to buy. As you see a friend, you want to emulate. You want to do this. those were things that were not really welcomed in the home where I am from, and that has really shaped me. And I think I'm happy.
Which is good.
Yes.
Which is good. It has really made you who you are today,
Mhm.
and especially in terms of your financial life, that is very good because in this century we need we need that knowledge. Okay, so another question I would love to ask is the absent affirmation, right? So what is the one sentence you desperately needed to hear from your parents growing up, but you never did? I know this is a very, yeah, you need to take it in. Take a deep breath. Breathe in, breathe out.
I needed someone to always let me know that it is possible.
Mm.
It is possible. It's not like we had silver spoon growing up, even with my aunts. I knew how we were feeding. I knew I knew how I knew a lot of things that she was sacrificing so she can make ends meet for us and all that. I just needed this affirmation of, don't worry, even after this school, it is still possible. We might not know why. But I wasn't hearing words like that. All what I was hearing was the impossibility and how it cannot happen with our current status or with what we were, with who we were at that time. Or every conversation after this, everything was geared towards
Negative.
how moving further in terms of education was not going to be possible. But the thing is, nature, I won't call it nature. God just have a way of doing things.
Yeah.
You might not see the possibility in it.
Mm-hmm.
Just
He has worked things out for you.
But just be positive. I needed someone to just honestly let me know that it is possible. But I don't know how the Almighty God did it. That even in that negativity, even in that negative affirmation and all those negative energy, I don't know what was my drive. I just kept pushing. Okay, she said it's not going to be possible after this, the affordability of school fees. Oh, I just took it upon myself that okay, if it's not possible with her, it is possible with me.
There is a spirit in man. There is a spirit in man.
So there was just this subtle push on my own side, even though I wasn't hearing that it is possible, we can do it. Just something that okay, with her it's not,
But
but
with God,
with
all
God,
things are
yeah.
possible.
And there was just that push. I just kept okay, everything was negative, she cannot do it. Even neighbors, people would tell me, have you heard, after this, if you finish this school now, how are you going to proceed, how are you going to move further? And I would don't worry, I can do part-time in one university, I can do this. Last time I'll just work in the supermarket. I'll be doing this
You were already
together.
thinking why?
Yes, I
Oh
was
my
just
God.
exploring the possibilities,
Yeah,
even
of
though I was
course.
not hearing what I wanted to hear. And that's it. And that's I say that to say this. Most times people are out there looking for motivational speakers.
Yeah.
They'll say, you don't want negative statement. You don't I think it has a lot to do with what you personally see, what you personally think about, and what
your mindset.
Yeah, your mindset and what you're feeding on. Because they say it is not possible does not mean it's not gonna be possible. I am a living testament, and I can say that with my full chest. If they tell you it's not possible, if it doesn't become possible, it's not because of what they said.
Yeah.
It's because you accepted it, and it's because you made that your reality. So yeah,
that is it. Thank you for saying that. Thank you. And I'd like to say this for our viewers and for parents watching this video. Let's try to be around our children, around in the sense that you need to affirm good words to them. Yeah, I understand that we are trying to build them up, we are trying to nurture them, we are trying to instill good habits in them, but we need to let them know that yes, you are doing well, you are good, you can do it. Let them know so that even when they get to school, even when their teacher is telling them, oh, you do student, guys, they'll be like, no, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Read the scripture with them, help them to read the scripture over them. Speak word of affirmation to your children. That motivates them. That becomes a driving factor. And another thing is if your children know God early, that is also another driving factor. That is why I do advise. No children is too small, or no child, I would say no child is too small to know God. Like you said, for the other religion, even when the baby is still very small, we will know the Lord, though, whether I like it or not.
They're already wearing small hijab and all
No
that.
child is too small to know the Lord. We need to nurture and bring up our children in the way of the Lord so that when they grow old, they will not depart from it.
Definitely.
Yeah. Okay, so the last question for this segment is talking about the positive anchor. Okay. So to keep this very balanced, was there one specific habit or value your parents instilled that actually saved you later in life? Maybe something you are grateful for, maybe something your parent did that you are grateful for now.
Yeah, they did I mean, they did a lot. My aunt, she did a lot, and I'm still grateful to God for those things. She taught me how to be diligent, like how to be hardworking. This worker though. She instilled that if I don't want to do it, I don't want to do it. But if I put my heart to it,
you do
so
it.
diligence, and also the part I was speaking about the other time, savings. From that savings, I learned contentment early in life.
Good.
I wouldn't,
which is
even
good.
before giving my life to Jesus, I wouldn't take what belongs to another man. So that was a value that she instilled in me, and I'm forever grateful to God for. So to just keep it short, I learned being diligent in terms of your reading. I mean, the small girl that I said she was going to church, I would wake up very early, take care of her. I had to be on the bed, sleeping, take care of her, do the house chores. Sometimes I have to be the one to make breakfast.
She's preparing you for something.
I don't know what she's talking about, but yeah. So diligence and contentment.
Yeah.
Contentment.
Okay.
Whatever she gives us is what it's just what we have. It's just what we take. Yeah.
So what would you love to say to our audience watching right now about parental influence, and what advice would you want to leave them with on this segment?
You said quite a lot of things, and if you been following closely would see how that several of the things that one is being exposed to as a child, they form a huge chunk of what the adult eventually grows up to become. So I would say that parents should be more cautious of what they do to their children
while they are growing up.
Whilst they are growing up, what they say to them, how they behave to them. It might not even be your child. If you've got the child of your aunt, if you've got the child of someone else in your custody, and maybe you're not happy with that person, or with whatever reason, you don't want to use that child as your reconciliation tool. You just want to do things because you know that there is a future for that child. And no child has dementia. Like, no child has a forgetful memory.
The brain is storing everything.
Yeah. It's registering in their subconscious. And I also want parents out there to know that whatever you are doing to any child, be it yours or another, it's just like you are planting a seed. By the time you see the tree or the forest from that little seed you've been sowing, it will marvel you yourself. So let us be intentional when it comes to parenting, and it's in all aspects. You don't want to do things blindly. You know your children are watching you, society is watching you, and the problem all over the world that we are seeing is not, the problem does not start as a nation.
No, from
the problem started because maybe a family failed to raise up a child in the way they should go, and a family fails here, another family failed there, and there, and there, and there. And once these persons come together, we just see the mess you see all over the place. So let's become more intentional when it comes to parenting. We are dealing with destinies of presidents, destinies of great children. So we don't want to be casual in terms of our dealings, and in terms of our, let's take it as a full course parenting. Go for parenting courses, register for courses on how to become a better parent. You don't want to rely on your past experiences to train your child.
We need to unlearn and relearn.
We need to unlearn that part of, this is how I was brought up.
This is how we used to do it.
This is how we used to do it.
No.
So we now need to be more deliberate on okay, I need to have a parental coach. I need to register for these parental courses. I need to do it, or I need to do this. I need to
seek God. Ask for wisdom.
I need to attend mentorship classes because of my children. Most of us, we realize that if the child misbehave, we flog. What has the flogging, what has the beating, what has it produced? So let's become more intentional. Let's look at this parenting stuff from another perspective entirely. And I'm very sure also the place of, she mentioned it already, the place of committing these children and our homes into the hands of the Lord. Because if the foundation be destroyed, everything should be based on God's word. It should be based in the place of prayer. It's not enough to put structures in place without prayer. So prayer plus structure plus God would have a good society. And so that
thank you so much for that answer. Another thing I'd like to say is the more you even beat a child, the more stubborn the child will become.
Definitely.
You think you are making the child, but you are marring the child.
Yeah, because well, some children, they grew up to say, well, after all, if I do it, it's just
You
six
beat me
strokes,
now.
6 strokes of cane, and that would just be it. But parenting is beyond beating.
Yeah.
And fathers, parenting is beyond providing food money.
Yeah, it's beyond that.
I'm saying I'm not the best parent advisor, but let's be present.
Present, relatable, understanding.
Yeah, it's just a lot.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
It takes the wisdom of God. We don't have a perfect manual. I don't think there's a home that will say, okay, this is our manual for raising a child. But we have Emmanuel. We have God.
Yeah, God with us.
Yes, no manual, but we have Emmanuel. So, yeah.
Yeah. Also, you can use the opportunity to watch our previous video where I spoke about why children drift away. We spoke about how parent needs to be relatable in that video. I think this will also be a good one for them. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. So yeah, this is the part 3 and the final segment of this interview section. Thank you for staying through. Thank you. We've been enjoying the section so far. So this part is talking about breaking the cycle and the actionable hope, which we do have. So, and the goal of this section is to leave our audience with a path forward, because you've heard all of the childhood experiences, you've heard all of the parental influences, you've heard this, you've heard that. What is the way forward? What is the way forward? That is what this section is all about. So the first one is the cycle breaker, right? If you could go back to your 7-year-old self right now, knowing what you know about God and healing, what would you whisper in her ear?
I mean, that word I always longed to hear. It is possible. It is possible. And with God, nothing shall be impossible. Yeah, I whisper to my 7-year-old self to say it is possible with God. Thank you.
Thank you for that answer. For me, what I would say is, I think it's similar to what you said. You can do it. Don't let the world define you. Don't let your situation or circumstance define you. Don't let people define you, because people will say a whole lot of things. They'll make you feel so bad. They'll make you feel like you are the worst person on earth. They'll make you feel like you are incapable. They'll make you feel like you are the worst of all. So just know that you can do it. With God by your side, you can do it. And don't let anybody tell you otherwise. You can do it. So for the next question, which is the last question for this segment, this is the advice for parents watching us, for guardians watching us, for teachers, for sisters, and for siblings or brothers watching us out there. So for the mothers watching who are terrified that they are messing up their kids, what is the one thing they can do to start repairing a bond that feels broken? So let's say there is somebody watching us right now and she's feeling messed up, or she's feeling terrified that, oh, she has messed up her kid, or she has done something bad to our child. What is the one thing that they can do now to start repairing the bond and to make things better?
Right. Okay. I would say, to start with, the focus should not be on first repairing the bond. The focus should be to start looking at what has led to the distortion in the bond in the first place.
Good one.
The root cause of the matter.
Root cause of the problem.
The root cause. And in the process of us conversing, you must have picked one or two things. I think the solutions were even spelled out as we were communicating for a while now.
Yeah.
Mothers, fathers, let's try to fix ourselves first. Some parents are broken.
You can't give what you don't have.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Some parents are shattered.
Yeah.
Some homes are, you can't just give this. You can't raise a child in a broken home and expect that child not to be broken. So while your teenager or your adolescent does not want to talk to you, might be because you are a very I don't want to use any word, but you know the kind of parent you are. You know the kind of mom you are. Even people tell you, oh, I think you get angry, like you get angry too frequently, and you try
this is who I am.
Yeah, you try to be defensive. You try to explain yourself over everything.
I think that is a trauma response as well.
Yeah. And yeah, let me just say that sometimes our traumatic experiences that were once defensive is serving as an impediment now. whilst your parents were raising you, there were some trauma that they already instilled in you, which were very good, and they helped you navigate as an individual that you are. But now in your marriage, if you don't drop those traumatic, if you don't
Let's go.
shed off those traumatic experiences, they're not serving as an impairment in your own home. So mothers, fathers, I think we should start by fixing ourselves. Let's start by having quality communications with ourselves first off.
Of ourselves.
Yeah. When you communicate with your wife, your children are seeing, okay, mommy is not talking to daddy. So daddy now comes to the kitchen and say, oh dear, can I help you?
Daddy is not coming home early.
Daddy is not coming home early. Your children, they pay attention.
Yeah, they
and
observe.
And the best way to learn is via visuals, like videos. If you want somebody to remember something quickly, play them a video. I mean, there are several researches to say that it captures like a camera. It registers in your in the brain. So your child, they are seeing these things is being registered in their brain. So let's start by fixing ourselves. Let's start by being like, let's receive our own healing.
Heal as a parent.
Yes. If you need to go for sessions on psychology, just pay that price. And you'll be glad that you did as a parent.
You can go for counseling.
Go for counseling. Even as couples, go for counseling, go for sessions that that would be a huge impact on your own family at large. And I also like to say that if we do all these things, if we put all these things into practice and all that, we are not expecting to see results in 2 weeks or in 1 week. A home that has been broken for 18 years will take time also to recuperate, to come back. So this bond you're trying to restore, remember, we are going to the root cause of the matter.
To start with. The foundation.
The foundation. You've been doing something for the past 18 years. You've not been listening to your husband for the past 10 years in marriage. So you can't expect that to be fixed in 1 week. You can't go for a psychology session 2 days ago and you want to be seeing changes.
The results. It takes time. So we have to be patient.
Yes, patience as well in the journey of parenting and in the journey of our own healing as well. So let's give it time. All the things you're going to put practices in place, you're going to put structures, you're going to put systems, all those things takes time. And if you allow time, if you allow processes, if you put God, you begin to see results. So the summary of everything is just, let's try to fix ourselves. Let's try to be somebody that, if you tell me today, do I want my daughter to be like me? You can at least,
you beat your chest and say yes.
Yes.
Not say
yes. Or let's be a father that, if maybe your daughter, can you marry somebody like your father? Let your daughter be proud to say yes,
I can.
Yes. So that bond, automatically it will restore itself. The bond your child that is not communicating with you, you start by developing your communication skills with your husband, and even maybe with how to communicate with a teenager, how to make a teenager welcomed in communication and all that. By the time you start learning all these things and you start, you are not being frustrated, even if you're not seeing results, and we've talked about time. You would see that you begin to see results, and automatically, gradually, the bond will be restored. Yeah, so focusing on the root cause to getting the results. We are not focusing on the goal, we are focusing on the process of getting the results. Yeah.
Because so when you focus on the root cause and focus on the process, the goal,
it automatically comes to play. Yeah.
So I'll just say the actionable plan now in what you've said is to focus on ourselves, because as adults or as people, we still carry odds. We should let go of the past. We should unlearn. We should relearn. We should heal as individuals. We should heal as a parent. We need to build our children, because like we've been mentioning, we can't give what we don't have. You can't give your child a happy upbringing if you don't have one.
You're not happy. You're frustrated. You're giving out frustration.
So yes, we need to work on ourselves. So this is for someone watching us. This is for a mother, a father, or a guardian watching us out there who is thinking, how can I put things all together? What you can do, the actionable plan for you to do now is focus on yourself. Don't focus on the goal. Focus on yourself, because you have a whole lot of work to do within you. Focus on yourself. Try to unlearn those things which you've learned. Try to relearn. Try to let go of every hurt. Try to let go of every past traumatic experiences you've had. If you need to go for counseling, you need to do that. If you need to pray to God, if you need to seek the face of God, you need to do that. Follow the process duly. Be patient with the process, because even as you're patient with the process, the results will start showing off.
Yeah.
Because if you are rushing, you will not get the results.
Definitely.
And with all of this, you would see that the bond will be strong between you and your children, or between you and that child of yours. Thank you so much for staying true. Thank you so much for watching. Oh my God. This is indeed a well of knowledge. Miss Sophia, thank you so much for coming. We are so grateful for having you today.
My pleasure.
Like, we've had a whole lot of, oh my God, a whole lot, guys. You need to watch. You need to watch this video. You need to share this video to your friends.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. And I pray that even as you've come here today to share your knowledge with us, we pray for more knowledge,
Amen.
more wisdom,
Amen.
more light, more grace, and more strength.
Amen.
God will continually hold you.
Amen.
Thank you so much. In the comment section, please, guys, show her some love. Show her some love for Unfiltered Truth with Dherbiehood. And I would just like to say, if you've not subscribed to this YouTube channel, this is an opportunity for you to do that. Click the button down below, subscribe to this channel, like this video, comment. We want to know what stood out for you. Yes, we want to know what you took home from today's conversation. We want to know, we want to hear, we want to know that question which you have. We want to know what stood out for you. We want to really know. Sincerely, I want to know, and I know you want to know as well. And also, we want you to share this with your friends. We want you to share this with your parents, share this with your sisters, with your friends, with people that you know that this video would benefit. Share this video to them, and don't forget to turn on your notification button for more upload like this, because you'll be seeing more videos like this. Thank you for staying true. This is Unfiltered Truth with
Dherbiehood.
Unfiltered Truth with
Dherbiehood.
Faith Health Live Unfiltered. Thank you.